Kendrick to do.
Object!
And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose!
Your Honor!
You had
Counsel,
Marcus inside a phony transport!
Your Honor!
You doctored the logbook!
Damn it, Captain!
You coerced the doctor!
Consider yourself in contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Starlings twisting and turning in the evening sky in a stunning aerobatic display. Now, this hypnotic swarm is actually called a murmuration. Yeah, right? That's a mouthful. But experts say that it's often sparked by the presence of a predator, like a hawk. Now, what scientists don't quite understand is how they coordinate so well. Whether it's a group of 10 birds or thousands, they seem to move in unison. Now, you can check out these large group of starlings in the U.S. as well. They are an invasive species brought to the U.S. by Shakespearean enthusiasts and are now estimated to cause over $800 million a year in agricultural damage.
This 3.9 magnitude earthquake struck the epicenter here at Appin just after 1 this morning. Many residents took to social media reporting that their homes shook, the walls of their homes shook, and many of them ran out onto the street not knowing if they were in any danger, not knowing what was going on. Now, there are reports that this was felt in nearby suburbs including Wilton, Menangle, Glen Alpine, even Campbelltown, which is just 50 kilometres southwest of Sydney.
Nearby town cyclone here in Brazil. They're not talking about it in the media again. You know, there's something really big here. Let me show you guys. "3 a.m. this morning, a 5-meter wave hit this tree. And I'm not fucking with you. This is a very quiet beach. I came down here by request. I was in a nearby town up in the mountains. 3 to 5 meter wave destroyed this tree. This is the first of our many movies we're going to be talking about the cyclone, okay?
Russian hacking malware.
Russian cyber attacks.
The Russian hacking operation was detected.
The Russian hacks continue around the clock.
President-elect Trump just last night continued to dismiss both Moscow's involvement and the importance of the hacking at all.
But now eagle-eyed viewers have spotted the networks being using footage from the popular video game Fallout 4 to show Russian hacking. The footage on CNN exactly matches the video game. The news broadcaster used the video in its coverage of Washington's decision to expel 35 Russian diplomats due to Moscow's supposed interference with the American presidential elections. Well, it was our social media users who first called out the use of the video game footage. It sparked a wave of mocking of the news outlet, not only over the credibility of its hacking coverage, but also in general. We sought the opinion of media analyst Lionel, who says it's not the first time that the channel's suffered credibility issues.
CNN is teaching us something through successive habituation and conditioning. Don Lemon, who, by the way, remember years ago, or a while back, said that he thought that the Malaysia flight might have been zapped by a black hole. Then we have CNN, who also guaranteed that Hillary Clinton would win, and that there was an 85 to 90% chance that she would win. CNN, who also had Donna Brazile, who was a surrogate, giving questions basically to Hillary Clinton. And what happens is people right now have been so conditioned to not even caring. Because think about it. What does CNN have to do next to completely lose whatever's left of this imaginary image it has?
4 people have now been charged after a Facebook Live video surfaced showing a brutal assault on a disabled man. It shows the man crouched in a corner, hands bound, and his mouth duct taped. The attackers can be heard railing against Donald Trump and white people. Officers eventually found the man wandering the streets and rushed him to a hospital.
CNN's Rosa Flores joins me now with the latest. So I know Chicago police just held a press conference about this tape. What did they say? What do we know about this?
And Anderson, I just got off the phone with police with a few more disturbing details. They tell me that the victim in this particular case was targeted because he has a mental health challenge.
I think this conversation is going right now. I think that if this was a different situation, if you had white teens who had tortured and brutalized an African-American young man, and those white teens had talked about Obama and had been laughing, I don't think we would be having a conversation about how, oh, our political discourse is so toxic, and, you know, maybe these kids saw things on Twitter about Obama. And so,
Simone's talking to you.
When I watched that video,
I would say that's true, because you know what, the relationship of black people to America is very different than the relationship of white people to America. We're talking about.
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's evil. I think these are young people, and I think they have bad home training.
It's unfathomable that so much hate and anger can fill up a person where they go out and they think that this is okay. And then it was stupid to do it on Facebook Live, but that's a whole nother story. So this is absolutely sickening. But I'm going to say something that's probably not very popular. We cannot callously go about classifying things as a hate crime. Motive here matters. So of their political leanings, that is slippery territory. That is not a hate crime. Hate crimes are because of a person's racial ethnicity, their religion, their gender. I just want to remind folks that we cannot sit here and ignore that for, at least for the last year, on very public display, the worst parts of America have been brought from the fringe into the mainstream.
Notre objectif est simple, mobiliser la communauté internationale autour de la seule solution possible, celle de deux États. Et sur la base de cette mobilisation, inviter les Israéliens et les Palestiniens à reprendre les négociations de paix pour sortir du cercle vicieux actuel.
President Obama has been deeply committed to Israel and its security. And that commitment has guided his pursuit of peace in the Middle East. The two-state solution is the only way to achieve a just and lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. It is the only way to ensure Israel's future as a Jewish and democratic state, living in peace and security with its neighbors. Israel's permanent representative to the United Nations, who does not support a two-state solution, said after the vote last week, quote, "It was to be expected that Israel's greatest ally would act in accordance with the values that we share and veto this resolution. I am compelled to respond today that the United States did in fact vote in accordance with our values."
And I know that this dividing of the land is prophesied. This is the prophecy of Rebekah and Esau and Jacob in the womb. They fight for 9 months, and John Kerry has got a 9-month plan for us. And when the children come out, God tells Rebekah, it is 2 nations in your womb fighting. And many scholars have misplaced that scripture, and you've tried to say that it's the Arabs against Israel. God said it was 2 nations. My brother Benjamin Netanyahu, I pray to God that you will see this video. It's 2 nations, Esau and Jacob, that were in Rebekah's womb. And he said that at the time that they come forth, they will be separated. At the end of these 9-month negotiations, there will be a 2-state solution. My brethren, do you realize all nations will go against Israel?